Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee Friday. Today, we are going to talk about forward-leaning inversion and its use during a breech pregnancy. Of course, forward-leaning inversion can be used for any pregnancy, not exclusive to breech, but it can be really, really helpful. I want to talk about why we are doing forward-leaning inversion, who brought us forward-leaning inversion, and contraindications of forward-leaning inversion. So we'll start with contraindications. If you have a circulatory disorder, forward-leaning inversion is not for you because your head is going to be below your heart. And so if you're not sure, please ask your provider, whoever your primary provider is for your pregnancy, if forward-leaning inversion is safe for you. If no one has mentioned to you that you have a circulatory disorder, then you don't need to worry about it. So, because somebody would tell you if you had one. Okay, so, and also, like, if you have a shoulder injury or something up with your arms or your hands, forward-leaning inversion can be really uncomfortable. So you might have to wait until something resolves in that space too for you. All right. Who brought us forward-leaning inversion? Dr. Carol Phillips is the inventor of the forward-leaning inversion. She brought it to us many years ago. It's been in use in our community for at least 20 years, if not, and probably more. And Carol is a doctor of chiropractic and a craniosacral master, and has really done an amazing job teaching many practitioners to use her tools. So I encourage you to check out Carol Phillips and see the work that she's doing and that she has done. She's made such an incredible contribution to our community. And of course, I would be remiss in not including Spinning Babies and Gil Tully as people who have made forward-leaning inversion accessible to parents all over the world and teaching providers how to use forward-leaning inversion as a prenatal tool and during labor and birth. So thank you so much to those teachers for that. All right. Let's get into forward-leaning inversion. So we're going to do a little bit of visualization. My hands are your uterus, okay? The bottom of the uterus is the heel of my hands, and then my fingers are the top of the uterus, okay? And so ideally, we want the uterus to be upright in the abdomen and the pelvis. But most of us are working at a job where we're seated for a really long period, or we're doing repetitive movements throughout the day. And we're not really doing a wide variety of movement to help our uterus be centered in our body. And so what happens is that the ligaments that are supporting the uterus, they'll start compensating for that. And so like our muscles start getting tight on the right side of the body, and so then the uterus will start to tilt to the right side of the body. Or we're like arching our back excessively because we have an uncomfortable chair. And so the ligaments from the sacrum, which is that triangle bone at the back of your pelvis and connected to the back of the uterus, will start pulling and the uterus can tilt forward. Okay, so with forward-leaning inversion, we're giving those ligaments and the uterine muscles themselves a chance to be in a different position, a chance to do a movement that it doesn't do regularly throughout our daily lives, so that when we go upside down, the uterus goes upside down, and the weight of the organ, the amniotic fluid, the placenta, and the baby are just gently stretching those ligaments, okay? And giving a stretch that's not typical for the uterus. And then when we come back up, okay, then those ligaments have a chance to be like, oh, we can soften and relax and be like, if so we're gonna say the uterus is tilting to the right, the ligaments on the left will be like, oh, we should probably like wake up and do our job a little bit better and help to pull that uterus more toward the center. So that's the basic why we would do forward leaning inversion. When you go to do forward leaning inversion, it's very, very important that you have somebody there to spot you, please. This is for your safety. And in my less than humble opinion, it doesn't really matter how pregnant you are. I at least would want you to have somebody present to spot you so that when you're going into that head down position on a couch or from a flight of stairs, that you've got somebody to spot you and support your shoulders as you're going down, or to support you as you're coming back up, because we don't want you to fall. That would be a huge bummer. Now, let's get to the next thing. Well, how much should I do forward leaning inversion? So if your baby's in a great position, like 3 to 6 times a day is plenty. So that means you could do like 3 at the beginning of your day and 3 at the end of your day. You would break it up over the daytime period. You wouldn't want to do all of them at the same time. But if your baby is in a position that you don't want them in, particularly a breech position, then we want to do more of the forward-leaning inversions. So my recommendation from my experience as a practitioner and supporting families with breech babies is to do 12 to 24 forward-leaning inversions a day. And the reason why is that we're teaching the body to do something out of the ordinary, out of what it's accustomed to. And so we really need to tap into retraining the muscle receptors and the sensory receptors in the uterine muscle and in the uterine ligaments to be in a more balanced and well-proportioned state of support and contraction and relaxation, to have that uterus be centered in our body. And so the number 12 to 24 sounds kind of scary. It is a gold standard. It is a suggestion, okay? If it's not doable for whatever reason, that's okay. Some is better than none, okay? You don't necessarily have to go for that gold standard. I encourage people that if you are going to do something like that, if you are going to do 12 to 24 forward-leaning inversions a day, you're going to break it up throughout the day several times. So an example would be that you would do it in the morning. You might do it right before you go to eat lunch in the afternoon, when you get home from whatever you're doing for the day, and then after you get the little ones tucked in at bedtime, okay? And you have your partner there. If you're at work, ask a friend. If you are a single parent, have a family member come over, or ask for a support person from the birth community to support you with this. So make it accessible for yourself. Set the goal for yourself that is 100% achievable. Those are my dogs. I apologize. This is my third take on this. I'm not re-recording it. So please look into forward-leaning inversion. Ask your provider about it. Ask your doula about it. Ask your other parent friends about it. It's a wonderful tool, and it can be really helpful in bringing balance to your body, to make more space for your little baby, to find your baby's best position. And remember, sometimes that best position is breech. But also sometimes our best position is not breech. And we certainly can do things if we want to help make room and invite that baby into a different position. All right. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for listening. I hope that you find this helpful. Please leave your thoughts and your comments below for me. I would love to hear what you think. And if you have suggestions for other things that you would like me to talk about, I'm very happy to receive them. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.